Have you ever loved something so much that you just want to make it happen every day? Me neither. This is a podcast a day. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. Those there, the famous words of 21 Savage, but this time said in his maiden tongue, British. Bloody British, isn't it brilliant? 21 Savage, rapper, you might know him. He's got the cross thing between his eyes, he's got the tats, he's got the records, he's got the albums, he's got the music, he's got the Drake collab with the Zesty, whatever. And now he's got, himself on Aiden Ross's naughty list. He was doing a stream, and by the way, whenever I see clips of Aiden Ross, anything happening on Twitter, I'm never outsourcing this type of stuff. Whenever I see it, it's always Aiden Ross taking some kind of L. He's watching his aunt or his some relative of him getting chatted up by some other woman, or he's watching his entire crypto stocks plummet, or it's a Aiden Ross clip, of his balls getting stepped on by some, it's just always some random shit, Aiden Ross taking it L's in a different kind of way. He reminds me of Disney Channel main character from back in 2010 era. When I think of That's So Raven, every episode of That's So Raven or Hannah Montana or one of these types of shows would end or have a moment in it where your main character Raven, she's trying to do something, she's trying to work something out, and it'll always have a moment where she just gets completely embarrassed. And out of the episodes that just epitomize this, I just remember there's this episode where they're trying to do something, and it's not even she does something wrong or she's being a bad person, and this moment happens but it teaches her a lesson. Sometimes it's just it just makes fun of them. The main characters of these shows, I remember back in the day, just always would have these moments. And the one I remember the most, I always reference, is the Stinky Cheese episode. If you know that episode of That's So Raven, then you know. If you know, you truly know. That episode was one of them ones that was just I can smell that smell-o-vision was invented right there and then in that moment of that episode, because Mamma Mia, she gets trapped in the air vents or something, or she's trying to do something, and they get this stinky cheese trapped in the vents, and the heating's about to turn on and it's gonna stink, so they have to. She has to go crawl through the vents, which was just the most classic thing ever in a TV show. At some point, you're gonna crawl through the vents, and the vents are gonna be huge. I'm telling you, I don't think I've ever seen I've never seen in my life a great. Firstly, up in the corner of a ceiling. Anyway, maybe I'm not looking enough, but if I have, they've never been bigger than an A5 piece of paper. But anyway, maybe in America they got better ventilation and stuff. And the air vents are Raven Simone sized. Raven Baxter sized. Baxter, that sounds like you're getting Raven Baxter exercised out of your body, Baxter sized. But yeah, no. So she has to go up there and she has to eat this roll of stinky cheese, and it is the most embarrassing. It's all over her face, disgusting. I can smell it. Vivid memory I have of that show. But yeah, Aiden Ross just sort of reminds me basically of That So Raven Baxter, which I don't think anyone said before, and now I have. So that's out there. And this time on, Aiden Ross has something happen to him. He's the victim of something. He's probably the richest victim there is. He's playing cards with 21 Savage or whatever. And then apparently at some point 21 Savage was down a lot of money, and he had his own cards, and he bought in these cards, and they were marked cards, which I don't really know what that means. I think that just means you can cheat with them basically, because you know which ones are which or some shit like that. And he tried to do this on a live stream to 100,000 people, which is if you're learning magic tricks and you're pretty good, it's hey, pick a card. It's I'm getting there. I might do it to one person, maybe probably one person I know. Maybe I'm feeling a bit ballsy, I'll do it to one person I don't know. Maybe I'm feeling a little bit more ballsy, I'll do it in front of 4 people. To be as good on the level of Dynamo or some shit, you got to be pretty good, because a lot of people are going to be seeing you do this thing. So to have this and to do it in front of 100,000 people live streaming, I'm not sure if that's how he got caught, but you got to be pretty confident that they're pretty well hidden, or you got to be pretty confident that they're just idiots and no one's gonna know. You're just gonna get away with it. But like, Aiden Ross, I don't take him as the type of person to notice. I wouldn't notice it, but I don't think Aiden Ross would notice that type of thing. So I guess the chat was going like, Aiden, marked cards, and he was probably like, marked cards? What does that mean? And then 21 Savage probably just sitting there like, 21. And then he was like, fine, I'll check. Wait, marked cards, cheating cards? And 21, it looks like 21 still being silent or whatever. And then, yeah, he checks, he realizes, and 21's just kind of like, does that thing where it's like, oh, really? Type thing. Like, kind of the reaction that's either on the same, it's sort of similar to, have you got your homework? You didn't do your homework. You know it's not in your bag. Homework, please. You go look through your bag as if it's in there. But from the second you're zipping open the bag, you know it's not in there. But you're like, oh yeah, 1 minute, miss, get it. It's like, and in your head you're thinking, fuck this. What do I say? And then she's like, have you got it? And you're like, oh, what? It's not in here. What? Type thing. Or like, I'll just pull up the search history. Is there anything you want to tell me before I speak to you? And you're like, nope. What is this? It says big boginas in your big bozongas in your area. Would you like to explain that thing? You're like, never heard of it. Don't know. Well, I've only, we only have a single child. You haven't got any siblings, and it's not me or your mother's. So like, no one else lives here. Would you like to explain what big bazongas is website? Because and you're kind of just going, oh, that looks. Oh, that's dodgy. That who's been watching that type thing? Because he looks in like, are they? Oh, that's weird. Anyway, we're just gonna go, and then they kind of just get out of there. ASAP Rocky, another rapper. They're all that coming out today. Not as gay. I'm watching football while I do this. We got money on Mbappe, 3 shots on target. So yeah, pretty basic, but what can I say? And currently it's 2-1. Strasbourg just scored, and I need another Mbappe shot basically. So I'm kind of I was about to say multi-personality. That's a whole disorder thing though. I'm kind of multitasking. That's the one. You thought I was researching stuff for this? No. No. How's everyone doing? That's not me asking you. Those were the words of Elmo, or Elmo's admin. Elmo's PR guy who runs Elmo's account. Just checking in. Elmo's just checking in. How's everyone doing today? And everyone kind of replied by saying, awful, lost my job. Just want, feel like shit, just want her back. When will it end? When will it stop? I can see the light. Justin, my 4th existential crisis. I'm doing great, thanks, Elmo. Yeah, my wife left. She's taken the kids and the kids. She left me pretty late on in life. Type thing. And then it was just hellscape in his comments. People just venting, basically in Elmo's comments. Elmo checks back in a few days later, and he's like, "Hey, thanks for responding. Elmo's really happy he asked how everyone's doing, and that's I'll check back in soon." That's not a good impression. Which is kind of like, if you're gonna ask, actually ask, mate. Actually care. Like, Elmo checks in like, "Hey guys, what's up? I care about your feelings. What's wrong?" Everyone tells him. Everyone's like, "Elmo, we're fucking screwed." Elmo's not got a single bit of a nice thing to say. Not a single like what's the word? Not a single, bit of advice. Elmo doesn't want to say, "Oh, just keep your head going, hang in there," even if it's shit. No, he goes like, when you ask everyone, it's just a thing to say, "How are you?" And you just expect them to say, "Yeah, I'm good, you." And then one times out of a million, like, how are you? "I'm pretty shit, actually, yeah." And you're just like, "Ah, great." You give the exact same, like, "Oh, yeah," response back, as if like they just said, "Yeah, I'm good." "How are you?" "Yeah, no, I'm in the mud. I'm no. And Elmo's just like, Elmo didn't sign up for this. Elmo was just, And realistically, don't worry, guys. I know Elmo's not real. I know he's not actually sentient. He is just a puppet, puppeted by a probably middle-aged to elderly man lying on his floor underneath the table with multiple sticks in a little wheelie chair. I've seen how it works. I've seen behind the curtain. Don't worry. I'm a big boy. But regardless, whoever the admin is, he was just like, Oh, I finally remembered the Elmo password for the Twitter account. Let's just, spread some Elmo joy. And then was going through the replies like, you know, give me something, mate. Give me something. Give me something to work with here. What we saying? What we saying? Okay, I actually want to do an "I told you so" thing because everyone was hating on that Mr. and Mrs. Smith trailer. This looks like shit. When are they gonna stop making shit? The entire market is crap these days, and everyone just makes fucking remakes and fucking shit. Why are they remaking this perfect film? I never saw the original film. Was probably just okay at best, but it was like people saying it's basically crap because it's meant to be this attractive couple. It was Brad. It was Brad Pitt, that is. When you just say Brad on its own, Brad is a very like unattractive name. I guess it kind of just gives IT guy vibes. So yeah, Brad Pitt and I don't know, Angelina Jolie or like Jolie, Angelina Jolie. Yeah, that is her name, Jolie. For some reason that sounds wrong. Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, all that shit, right? And they're going, the people you got is this no name Asian woman and Donald Glover. A lot of people go the guy from Community. So people's whole like vibe of if this show looks crap or is gonna be like people going, this is gonna be a disaster. That's the kind of thing people are saying about it, and I was like, oh god, okay. I mean, I like Donald Glover, so I don't really want stuff he's attached to just be straight up shit. I watched the trailer and I was like, I don't know. I actually think this looks decent. I think this actually looks alright. I gave it the taste test, and what can I say? I'm a decent little talent scout. Rotten Tomatoes verdicts in, and obviously that's our Lord and Savior. We say everything that account says, account that website, whatever. With more than a pinch of salt, I take a handful and more of salt. Anyway, it got 85. What can I say? I'm a bit of a talent scout. What can I say? I actually watched the trailer. I know my shit. I can pretty much tell tone and shit pretty easily. Like I can pretty much watch anything and go if it's good or not. I'm kind of that guy. And yeah, it looks like a decent little show. It got the tone right. Like it wasn't cringe at points. When these comedies that come out sometimes with that kind of vibe, that kind of tone, very easily you can watch it and go, type thing. But didn't happen. Thought it looked decent. I actually thought, you know what? Maybe I'll check that out. Maybe I'll watch it. If it required zero work or like climbing of the careers by going from this to promotion to this, I would take the job of being the guy who signs off on pilots because I could watch a pilot and tell you if that's a winner or if that's a stinker. Unfortunately, I'd have to do a bunch of jobs, and I'll be like 42 and I finally in that role. I do it for like a year and I realize it's kind of fucking boring. You got to watch a bunch of shit as well. But if I could just be in it right now, I would fucking slap. I would slap. I would. My vocabulary is not great. I would be good at it basically. I'm not gonna lie. I need to watch the rest of this game. My life depends on it. No, it's not that deep. But you can tell I'm sort of vaguely. Is that the right word? Vague? No, I'm vocabulary is completely done. I'm like I can't. I'm like a little distracted basically. I can't think of it. Am I just tired or did I just leave school too soon? One of the two. This is 3. Oh, this is the day, by the way. I don't think I said that. We do this every day. If you looked at any of the other videos on the channel, you probably noticed that there's way too many of just shitty rambles. This is 3. Ooh, I don't know what this is. I think this is 332, and the next one's 333.